Here we are on Rainbow Bridge to celebrate this special time of year, summer. Speaking of summer, let's talk about Kingsisle's recently released summer update. Kingsisle recently released their summer update, an 8-person raid, and the second largest portion was the Aquila challenge mode and new Aquila spells. But that portion of the update was not released, as it will be released later on. I'm going to be honest, it seems like they were focused a lot more on the raid than they were any other portion of the update. The question is, why? They said it themselves on a live stream last year that a small percentage of their player population participate in raids. They promised the game wasn't becoming Raid 101.
For the PvE content direction, are we going to be focused on the casual players rather than like Raid 101? I've seen a lot of feedback saying that Wizard101 is becoming more like Raid 101. And there was a content creator, Pluto, who actually did a pretty good video on this, where it's like when players referred to as casual players are not actually what we would consider casual players. What we would consider casual players are players who just quest to enjoy the lore, the environment, and the typical progression of an RPG. And a lot of them aren't max level necessarily. They enjoy the more simple time of Zen combat, such as like Blade to AoE. They don't really want to consider boss cheats and such like that. Those type of players are actually the majority of the player base. So while a lot of the feedback we've been seeing from players like Fairy Queens and Cheerval, Zayfa and all that, they would be what we would consider our standard player cohort, not our casual player cohort. And first, they typically tend to be on max level. They play a lot and they like to have the best gear. They like difficulty, but not the advanced mode type of difficulty. The peak of like Wizard101 combat is like the Darkmoor type of experience, Waterworks type of experience, Mount Olympus type of experience. And so we want to address that cohort because that's where we've been seeing a lot of feedback from the Nightmare standard mode in general, where those players felt like we missed with Nightmare Standmare mode. It didn't really appeal to their type of taste. And finally, the last cohort of players are the advanced cohort. These are people and players that like raids, guilds. They like advanced combat and they do the challenge mode. And that group we feel is pretty happy. We feel like we hit the target with Nightmare challenge mode for that group. We've seen the live streams, and that group, while it is a small portion of the player base, but like I said, we wanted to hold this live stream to address some of the feedback from more of the what we'll call the standard cohort, who feel like, hey, we were expecting the Nightmare standard mode to be something completely different, and we're worried that the Nightmare standard mode represents a new direction in Wizard101 PvE. Is this what we're coming to expect? And I want to say that, no, that's not the direction we're taking general Wizard101 in.
Players are most active in-game during June, July, and December. Yet they released an update very few people are playing. It is important to focus on all players, but to focus mostly on updates that a few people play makes you wonder. Why haven't there been any major updates for PvP players? They are a missing group of players who could keep this game running for another decade if they had something good to come back to. Raids are limited. Not everyone knows 8 different people online at the same time. PvP is something most everyone could do. I'm pretty sure people will find other games to play by the time they release the Aquila portion of their update. Makes you miss the old days, really, if you think about it, when they knew how to release test realm updates in full. This is just like the mobile game era. They were so focused on mobile games while neglecting Pirate 101 players. Now they're focused on another thing that very few people play, while neglecting a majority of Wizard101 players. I still believe Kingsisle can change their path. They need to listen to all of us and not just their yes men and women, wink wink, telling them everything they're doing is a-okay. Other than that, I think I got my point across. This update gets an F from me. We're currently in the Raid 101 era, similar, as I said, to Kingsisle's mobile era. Let's hope this doesn't result in massive layoffs like 10 years ago. Anyway, thank you all for watching this short video. Please like and subscribe. Until next time.